Well speech is the first speech in a series of technical speeches, but just presentations, public presentations. And I read the instructions for this speech all the way through, telling you how to do a goodwill speech for an event. But great, I know how I can use this for some of my clients, some of the other people, how to get their message out. And it comes down to the end and says, your instructions are to give a goodwill speech for Toastmasters. So I have that in there. I started thinking, who needs a goodwill speech for Toastmasters? Why would we need it? We tend to forget that everybody is not at the same level. I joined Toastmasters approximately 5 years ago. I was out for about 2 years. And that was a blessing, my being out for 2 years, because when I came back, I found out how rusty somebody can become in their speaking. You learn that you forgot and that you need to relearn. And when you relearn, you usually learn it better. That's what Toastmasters gives us, an opportunity, all the way around. 3 basic patterns. 1, you have achievement. 2, you learn communication skills. 3, you learn leadership skills. And that's all planned out. How many other places would you not have to pay thousands of dollars to have this kind of training? And here is so that everybody can come in on their own and benefit from it. And get constructive criticism and encouragement. People are fearful of speaking. Our own Eddie Merle has told us many times of sitting outside the meetings, the first 3 meetings, before he had the courage to even come in, let alone speak. Now he's our district governor. Everyone has a certain path that they're going to follow, that they're going to get through. To me, Toastmasters has become poetry of life. Why poetry of life? It's always flowing. It's there. It's the romance where you're going with what you have. It helps us build. It helps us with our confidence. It helps us with our self-esteem. It makes us what we want to be. Most of us don't realize we're always communicating. It doesn't matter where we are, what we're doing. If we're meeting somebody, we're communicating. Now, unfortunately, I had a comment from somebody recently. It was just in a park. Somebody just happened to meet who said to me, one problem with most Americans is they're reserved. They're afraid to speak to each other. They're afraid to talk. And I thought, how sad. We don't talk to each other. That's our first breakdown in communication. Well, what does Toastmasters teach us? It teaches us to come forward and give that basic initial communication effort. It teaches us how to introduce ourselves to each other. Now, we have an introduction that's going to be taking place this coming Tuesday. I have corralled Holly into giving an icebreaker speech for a new club to be formed at Redmark Technologies. And she will be giving that speech at that time, and she blames me for it now. But she will love it. Well, she also blames the boss for letting me do it. But that's where it goes. It starts from there. And each level, each speech gives you some new skill. It gives you some new confidence. That's the communication side of it. It helps you build up. You give you a number of speeches. You learn a different skill at each level. You can always revisit those. That's what I'm doing with so many of them right now. I'm working on my advanced communicator goal. I'm working on my advanced leader silk. With the 2 of those right now at the end of this year, I will achieve my DTM.
Yay!
But I'm not there yet. And what I found out is it took all those little steps in between times to get there. That's the fun part. I've ignored the leadership portion of this. Most of you weren't around when I first joined 5 years ago. Max Rasmina at that time was Lieutenant Governor for the district. He said, Greg, we need somebody to take care of the registration chairman for the fall conference. Why don't you do it? Well, I've been a Toastmaster for 4 weeks. And I said, well, I really don't know anything about it. He said, you'll be great. He then talked me into being district conference chairman. I'd never been to a district conference, but I learned the leadership skills, and I've learned them all the way through. That is the second path of Toastmasters. What it gives to us is phenomenal. It gives us the ability to take this back to our communities, as civic associations, our groups, whoever we want to talk to. It gives us the opportunity to take these back to our jobs. We get recorded benefits. We go to our bosses. HR knows, especially if you're a big company, who has made Toastmasters and who hasn't. You will be asked by others within your company to give speeches, to give presentations, or to set them up, set up a conference, whatever you're going to do. You will do that in such a way, and it raises your level, not only of confidence, but your level of appearance to everybody else. It raises you and your standards and helps your self-esteem. You can't ask for a greater portrait of life than what you